Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Transformers Titans Return Legend Class Autobot Wheelie. A character that is no stranger to controversy. He does kind of give us one in the fact that Wheelie is probably the most anticipated figure in this first wave of Legend figures. Which is really strange because not a lot of people say, hey, you know, Wheelie is my favorite character. Most either really don't like him or just don't care about him. But it really does seem that this guy is the one that everybody wants. Now for the package, you got a obvious clamshell here. You can see the figure and everything. You got his vehicle mode right there. You got the Transformers text with the Generation logo there. On the back, you got a really cool kind of artistic image. You can kind of see here in the back that he does come with a collector card. All these new Titans Return figures, with the exception of the Titan Masters, come with a collector card, so that's something really cool. You come around to the back of the package, and you can see he transforms in 13 steps. And it says, can always figure out a way to survive on or off the battlefield. That's his bio, that's it. Got various warnings and things of that nature. One thing that really is kind of unfortunate is that he doesn't come with any weapons, yet you can plainly see that he's got his very customary slingshot. Now, a few years ago, we got like a Takara release of the Wheelie in a deluxe scale. It was a remold, I think, of the Reveal the Shield Jazz. And that actually did come with a little slingshot, so I'm going to pull mine out and see if it works for that. But beyond that, for the packaging, that's about it for it. So without further ado, let's get Wheelie out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Wheelie opened up and out of his packaging. And like I talked about before, he does come with a collector card. All the new Titan Return figures, with the exception of the Titan Master figures, come with these really nice collector cards. You can see a real cool image here of Wheelie, kind of full scale, jumping around. You do see he's holding a slingshot, which he doesn't come with, which is unfortunate, but hey, look what I have. And then you come around to the back of it and you can see some tech specs. You got his strength, speed, intelligence, and of course firepower. And since he's really not one of the actual Titan Master or whatever you want to call it figures, he doesn't have any kind of connectivity, so he doesn't get that extra boost. So strength is a 5, speed is an 8, obviously he's very quick. His intelligence is a 6, which I would argue his intelligence shouldn't be that high. And then his firepower is a 7, even though he doesn't come with any weapons or anything. And then you can see that 10 right here is like the max. So again, really nice, and I'm so happy that they decided to go with those kind of tech specs. But vehicle mode wise, this is absolutely terrific. I mean, I can completely understand why so many people want this figure. This guy looks great. In terms of a G1 representation, they did an amazing job here. Now, it's not without its problems, but looks-wise, this guy is terrific. Now, as I mentioned, he is a Legend class figure, showing you off how big he is by comparison to one of the Titan Master figures. Here's a little vehicle that comes with Terrible. You can see though that these are really small, and the Legend size figures really do fit very nicely, especially when they are supposed to be these little mini figures, or mini bots, I guess I should say. But what's really cool is they did design this where you can actually open this up, get that up like that, open that, and there's actually a little seat on the inside here. So let's bring in one of these little Titan Master figures, open this up, get him flex like so, and then you just take him and you put him in, and let's see, get that all the way down. Come on, fit in there. There we go. And you can actually get a Titan Master figure in there. You can even close it, and you can have him still. I mean, you got the hands up there. You can even have him driving around still. I mean, that is really cool, that functionality and, again, connectivity to other characters that are out there. One thing that you are seeing, though, in doing some of it, there are some problems. Like I said, this is not a perfect figure by any stretch of the imagination. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that these pieces right here, I mean, you can see it, are really difficult to keep tabbed in. They don't want to hold together as well as they seem to be designed to do. You can get it, and you can see, I mean, you can get it flush and everything, but if you're not careful, you're going to push and you're going to pop some things out. You can't get it, like I said. I mean, obviously that looks pretty good, but just the tabbing system is a little bit more weak on this than I think it really should be. I do kind of wish that instead of this dark tan kind of windshield, it was a little bit more of a silver color, kind of matching like what we have here, just to kind of match that overall look that he had in the cartoon. But it doesn't bother me that much. It actually looks pretty good, and you can see that you do have a little bit of a hollowness here going through the bottom, and with that kind of tinted window, it kind of hides it a little bit. But in general, really very nice. You got a very cool tampoed Autobot logo right up there, some nice silver paint along the sides here, and then in the front as well. Two different color oranges. You got a dark orange and then a lighter orange. But in general, really great representation of Wheelie. Now, he is a legend figure, so he does transform fairly easily. First, we're just going to take his legs, split these up. Well, you can rotate these around just like that, put that on the back. So you do that on that side as well. Rotate these around, kind of flex those right there. Oh, actually, they're going to go around to the back section, and then you take this entire torso bit and you rotate that around, and that keeps his legs where they're supposed to be. These arms, just kind of flex these out to the side, open this up, open this up. This you want to accordion down just like so. Take this whole section, you tuck that down, bring this up. You got these little pegs right here that are going to slot into these little rectangular sections, so just give that a nice little push. Then you take his head. Well, I guess it doesn't matter which way you go, but go that way and get his head out, rotate his arms, and there you have Wheelie. And again, great, absolutely terrific representation of Wheelie. They just nailed the look. The size scale for this guy is absolutely perfect. Everything about this I really like. Unfortunately, like I said, he doesn't come with any weapons, though. But if you do have that GDO Deluxe class Wheelie, one of the accessories was this little slingshot. And you can see that the holes here are really big. They actually go all the way through, which is kind of interesting. You can absolutely put that in there. It holds perfectly fine. And you can have him with a slingshot. And it works. You put it that way. It doesn't matter. I mean, that just works perfectly. I don't know if they intended something like that, but really, that is great. And then because the whole system here is the exact same, if you have any of these actual Titan Master figures, you can do that with this guy as well. The ball joints are a little bit weak on some of them, and obviously these are pretty heavy that it's going to pull them down, but that peg system is roughly the same size, so you can use one of those if you really wanted to. For me, though, this is perfect to use, so I'm going to be using that. But again, great look on that figure. The actual face and the head sculpt looks terrific. I love how they got the little kind of visory looking thing there at the top. You got some nice blue paint for the eyes. Like I was talking about with the chest piece, it doesn't look bad, but I do kind of wish it did have that more silver or whitish color on it that, you know, the original kind of did. It would just make me a little bit happier, I suppose. But generally speaking, the looks on this are really great. The size works perfectly for this character. I mean, everything on here is great. So setting him right there, just kind of getting him balanced. He does kind of have a hard time balancing sometimes. But again, remember, my table is actually rounded. But for comparison, here he is next to the Combiner Wars Sunstreaker. And again, like I said, because Wheelie was a smaller character, he fits perfectly as a legend scale. And I think compared to other scale figures, this is a great representation. Now for his articulation, the head is just on a little peg, so you can only rotate it left and right, but you get a nice range of motion with it. The shoulders here are on ball joints. Those can rotate. They can move in and out, so real good range of motion there. You also can kind of flex a little bit, which is cool. The elbows are on ball joints, so again, nice range of motion with those. It does get, I mean, you can see when you rotate that around, it kind of gets a little bit loose. That's kind of strange how that happens. He does rotate at the waist as part of the transformation. I mean, yeah, actually, it doesn't look all that bad. I mean, you don't get much restriction with this little piece that comes down, so you do get that rotation there. The hips here are on ball joints, so again, nice range of motion. You can get that moving however you want. And then the knees are also on ball joints, so real great use of ball joints on this figure. You get a nice range of motion with just about every joint that you can want. Get some real cool poses with them. And just in general, this figure came out really, really nicely. I'm very, very happy with him. Now, to transform him back into his car mode, we're going to take the head, rotate that all the way around just like so, so that that's kind of flush like that. Kind of get the arms out of the way, rotate those little forearm pieces around, rotate his whole torso around just like so. open this piece, then come around here, lift this piece up, and then you pull that whole section out like that, and then you bring that down so you can kind of line it up, know where it's supposed to be. So you're going to have it kind of going like this. Then you want to take these legs, rotate these sections out, rotate these around like so. Do that on this side as well. Rotate the wheels out, then spin and bring this up. These tab together right there. Kind of lift this, kind of put that in that section. Bring the front section together, tab that. Oh, that kind of detached. Keep that all the way up like so. And then this piece, like I said, this can be a little bit tricky to get these to actually tab in. You want to bring the tab from the arm underneath the wheel well here, and then kind of push. You got a little tab section that's going to friction onto that little bit right there. But it can be tricky to do. So just kind of push and get that in there. If you're not careful, it's not going to line up all that great, and you're going to have a hard time. Like, I mean, you can see pushing just makes everything else kind of like detach. So it does get a little bit frustrating when you're trying to get that there. So again, bring that in. Come on, bring that up. Keep that rounded. Keep that rounded. You want to make sure that those kind of stay straight. So the past 3 minutes or whatever, I've just been fighting with tabbing this in. So that, like I said, that's probably the most unfortunate part. You bring that down, you bring that down. But there you have him back in his vehicle mode. And if you really wanted to, you got these little hole sections here on the side that you could put that in there and detach everything again. So you could have weapon storage, I suppose you could possibly say, but getting that out of there without making more of a mess, I guess. But there you have Wheelie. Why won't you stay down there? Wheelie. So even as a toy, Wheelie can be quite annoying. But there you have him back in his vehicle mode. And for all the frustrations that he does have going back into his vehicle mode, I still really like the toy. I think in terms of vehicle mode, this guy looks terrific. It's exactly how I would want Wheelie to look. I mean, they nailed just about every aspect and every angle on this toy. I think it just worked out wonderfully. I'm just going to keep on fiddling with it. I haven't learned my lesson. But I think they just nailed it completely. Transformation, as you can see, going to his vehicle mode is a pain. Going to his robot mode really isn't all that bad. Mostly because part of it already kind of wants to go to his robot mode. But it is in that robot mode that I think that he looks the absolute best. That head sculpt is terrific. The proportions of the figure itself, everything on him just works out wonderfully. Reaction to this guy and opinions have been very positive on him, and it is absolutely warranted in my opinion. This guy turned out great. So if this is a guy that you'd like to add to your collection, he is available right now at Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the new Transformers Titans return figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please like and share it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you never miss a future review of mine. And as always, until next time, I'll talk to you later.